What the Philadelphia Eagles pulled off in their gritty win over the Kansas City Chiefs goes far beyond what the final score reveals. This wasn't just a victory, it was a message. A warning shot fired to the rest of the NFL that this team, even without playing perfect football, still has the toughness, depth, and resilience to take down one of the league's premier franchises on their own turf. Arrowhead is no joke. The crowd, the atmosphere, the pressure, many teams collapse under it. But not Philadelphia. Not this version of the Eagles. For years, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs have been the league's untouchables. A dynasty in progress, with Super Bowl rings and MVPs to back it up. Beating them once is a statement. Beating them twice is impressive. But beating them 3 times, including once in a Super Bowl, once at Arrowhead, and now again early in a new season, means something more. It means the Eagles have figured them out. They know how to attack them. And more importantly, they know how to win when it matters. The thing is, this wasn't even close to the Eagles' best game. Offensively, it was sluggish. Mistakes were made, opportunities missed, and big plays were rare. Yet, when it came down to the moments that define outcomes, third downs, red zone plays, fourth quarter execution, Philadelphia showed up. And that's what championship teams do. That's what separates good teams from elite ones. You win games like this not because of flash or numbers, but because of grit and poise. Think about it. Patrick Mahomes had never lost 3 straight games in his career. The Chiefs were desperate, starting a season 0-2 for the first time in over a decade. They threw everything they had at the Eagles. Steve Spagnuolo dialed up blitz after blitz. Andy Reid pulled out every trick in the book. Mahomes tried to make magic with his legs and his arm. And yet, none of it worked. The Eagles didn't need to match Kansas City's desperation with chaos. They just played their game. Physical, methodical, composed. A boa constrictor, slowly tightening the grip until there's no way out. Defensively, Philadelphia continues to impress with a young, retooled unit. This is a team that lost over 4,000 defensive snaps worth of veteran experience in the offseason. Players like Brandon Graham, Darius Slay, Milton Williams, Josh Sweat, and C.J. Gardner-Johnson gone. Those are not just names, they're cornerstones. Yet here we are, 2 weeks in, and this defense has allowed just 7 points total in the second half across both games. That's elite adjustment, elite coaching, and elite execution. And you have to give credit to Vic Fangio. What a masterclass he's putting on early in this season. In the Super Bowl, the Eagles didn't blitz Mahomes a single time. On Sunday, they brought pressure on 11 snaps. That's adaptability. That's understanding your personnel and your opponent. Mahomes is the best in the game, but Fangio made him uncomfortable. They hit him 10 times. They sacked him twice. They limited one of the league's most dangerous offenses to under 300 total yards. That's not luck. That's elite planning and in-game adjustment. Let's talk about the young studs stepping up. Jahad Campbell looks like an absolute weapon. He's being used everywhere. Off-ball linebacker, edge rusher, blitz packages, run support, coverage. He's making plays all over the field, and it's clear the coaching staff trust him. He's instinctive, fast, and physical. Then there's Andrew Mukuba, who had himself a day. He was everywhere. Tackle after tackle, reading plays, sniffing out screens, making one of the biggest plays of the game with that interception after Kelsey's drop. Sure, Kelsey probably should have caught it, but Mukuba was in the right place at the right time, ready to capitalize. And that matters, because championship defenses make you pay for mistakes. And that play flipped momentum when Kansas City was knocking on the door. Even more impressive than the youth is the malleability of this defense. Fangio isn't stubborn, he adjusts. He sees what works and changes when necessary. Against Mahomes in February, the Eagles relied on their front 4 and didn't blitz. This time around, they mixed it up. Different coverages, different pressures, more disguised looks. They kept Mahomes guessing, and that's why they came out on top. But let's address the offense because, yes, there are concerns. The passing game has been underwhelming through 2 weeks. Jalen Hurts has yet to throw a touchdown pass. The explosive plays are missing. And it's fair to wonder whether Kevin Patullo is ready for the moment as a first-time offensive play caller. But here's the thing. Hurts isn't turning the ball over. He's not forcing throws. He's managing the game, taking what the defense gives him and making clutch throws when it matters. That's progress. And honestly, that's enough for now. One of the best moments of the game came on a 3rd and 10 from the 31-yard line. Chiefs send the house, zero safety help. Hurts sees it pre-snap, knows Devonta Smith has a one-on-one matchup, and takes the shot. Off-platform, pressure in his face, back foot throw, perfect placement. Devonta goes up, adjusts midair, and brings it down. That's high-level quarterbacking. That's high-level pass protection, too, because Saquon Barkley, lined up to the right, crosses the formation and picks up the key block that gives Hurts just enough time. These are the little things that win football games. Saquon, by the way, looks great. Explosive when he gets space, patient when he needs to be. And that block on the big play to Smith, that's why he's here. That's why the Eagles brought him in. Not just for the highlight runs, but for the trust and the versatility. The defensive line also deserves a shout-out. Jordan Davis is starting to look like a wrecking ball. Jalen Carter returned from suspension and picked up right where he left off, causing chaos in the backfield. And how about Zadarius Smith in his debut? Productive, disruptive, and clearly a vocal leader already. The team gave him Brandon Graham's locker for a reason. That's not a small gesture. That's the team saying, "We believe in you to lead this young group." And on Sunday, he delivered. Special teams? Elite. Jake Elliott continues to be automatic from long distance. 3 for 3 from 50-plus to start the season. Braden Mann continues to flip field position, pin teams deep, and give the defense a cushion. These aren't just side notes. They're winning factors. Field position, points on the board, momentum swings. It all matters. And now, with a 2-0 start, this team is ahead of where it was last season. Think about that. In 2024, the Eagles didn't look sharp early. They won games, sure, but they weren't dominant. It took a few weeks to really find rhythm. This year, they're still not firing on all cylinders offensively, and yet they've beaten 2 quality teams. And they look fresh, mentally, physically, emotionally. That's not easy to do when you played deep into February, had a short offseason, and had to replace key coordinators and veteran leaders. But this group is built different. They're not peaking early. They're not emptying the tank in September. They're managing games, building chemistry, getting reps, and still winning. That's how you set up for a deep postseason run. That's how you weather injuries, slumps, and adversity. Because it's not about looking good now, it's about being great when it counts. And if this is what the Eagles look like when they're still figuring things out, imagine what they'll look like when it all clicks. There's been a lot of noise surrounding this Eagles offense through the first 2 games, and to be fair, some of the criticism is valid. The passing game has looked safe, maybe even timid at times. The routes are not creating much separation. The deep shots are rare, and Jalen Hurts doesn't seem fully in rhythm with his playmakers. But people forget, this is exactly how last season started too. Through the first month in 2024, the offense looked clunky. There were moments where fans questioned the play calling, wondered whether the creativity was gone, and some even called for changes on the coaching staff. Sound familiar? The same thing is happening now, but the Eagles are still winning. And that's what matters most in the early stages of a long season. Kevin Patullo, as a first-time offensive coordinator, has faced 2 experienced defensive minds out of the gate. Week 1, it was Matt Eberflus, a guy who made his name as a defensive guru before becoming a head coach. Then in Week 2, it was Steve Spagnuolo, one of the most battle-tested and decorated defensive coordinators in NFL history. And while Patullo's offense hasn't exploded statistically, it's protected the football, managed the clock, and delivered in clutch moments. That alone puts him ahead of a lot of new play callers. What seems clear is that the Eagles are prioritizing ball security above everything else. The philosophy right now appears to be win with discipline, not flash. You can see in the passing chart from Hurts against Kansas City. Short, quick throws, mostly inside the numbers, very few deep attempts. They're clearly focused on not giving defenses easy chances at takeaways, and instead leaning on the defense, special teams, and situational execution to win games. It's not sexy football, but it's effective. And with the weapons this team has, the offense doesn't need to carry the load every week. It just needs to protect the ball, converting key spots, and let the other units do their job. Still, there's no denying that the Eagles have to find more rhythm offensively. Hurts has had excellent protection. His offensive line is giving him time, keeping him clean, but there have been several plays where nobody is open. The route combinations have been flat. The motion has been minimal. The defense doesn't have to think or shift much before the snap. That makes it easier for veteran defenses like Kansas City's to sit on routes and anticipate throws. There were multiple examples against both Dallas and Kansas City where Hurts had a clean pocket but simply nowhere to go with the ball. That's not a Hurts problem. That's a design problem. That's something Patullo has to fix. The good news is that this isn't new for the Eagles. They've had to work through offensive struggles before. They did it early last season. They did it in 2021 during Nick Sirianni's first year. And each time, they've eventually found their identity. What's different this year is the level of trust the coaching staff has in Hurts to not panic. He's not trying to play hero ball. He's not forcing throws into tight windows. He's waiting for the right moments. And when they come, he's capitalizing. His third down numbers are excellent. His red zone decision-making has been solid. He's taking hits when necessary, but avoiding the big mistakes. That's the sign of a mature quarterback who knows the value of patience in September. And the locker room follows that tone. No panic, no finger-pointing, just quiet confidence. This is a team that knows it can win in a variety of ways. And while the offense hasn't reached its ceiling, the other two phases of the game, defense and special teams, are playing at a high level. That balance is what makes this team so dangerous. They don't need a perfect game to win. They just need to keep stacking wins, get better every week, and stay healthy. What's also being overlooked is how physical and punishing this offense is even without the big plays. The run game is grinding out yards. Saquon Barkley looks fully engaged. He's taking hits, lowering his shoulder, and setting a tone. His presence alone forces defenses to stay honest. And when you pair that with a quarterback like Hurts, who can take off at any moment, it creates constant stress for defenders. Add in that elite offensive line, and you have an offense that can wear down opponents even if it's not scoring 30-plus points a week. The brotherly shove, or tush-push as some call it, is a perfect symbol of what the Eagles represent. It's not flashy. It's not complicated, but it's effective. It's physical dominance in its purest form. And because no one else can do it the way Philadelphia does, it's become controversial. Opposing fan bases hate it. Analysts want a ban. But the truth is, it's just another example of the Eagles out-executing the competition. Other teams try it and fail. Philly does it at will. And it works because of the strength of the offensive line, the timing of the snap, and most importantly, the power of Jalen Hurts. People forget he's built like a running back. He can squat a small car. That play isn't unfair. It's just unstoppable. And that's what really separates this team from the rest. They're not trying to reinvent the game. They're not chasing highlight reels or fantasy points. They're building a formula that wins in December and January. And if they clean up a few things on offense, add more motion, more play action, better route combinations, this could once again be the most complete team in the NFL. Some of the numbers from this Kansas City game are almost hard to believe. Less than 220 yards of offense, no passing touchdowns, and still a win on the road against a desperate Chiefs team? That just doesn't happen in this league. But it did. And that's because Philadelphia found ways to control the clock, force key turnovers, and execute in big moments. The defense clamped down in the second half. The special teams flipped field position. And Hurts did what needed to be done when it mattered most. And let's not overlook the emotion of this win. It was a hostile environment, a national stage, a Super Bowl rematch. The Chiefs wanted revenge. Their fans were loud, the energy was high, and the pressure was real. But Philadelphia never flinched. They walked into Arrowhead and walked out with a win, even while playing a B-minus game. That says everything about where this team is mentally. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Hold on to your helmets, NFL fans. Rumors are swirling, and the rumor mill is working overtime after what could be the blockbuster move of the offseason. Sources close to the situation suggest that Dak Prescott, the longtime quarterback and face of the Dallas Cowboys, might be saying goodbye to Big D and heading east to Philadelphia. Yes, you read that right. Whispers in league circles are pointing to a potential 3-year deal with the Eagles. For years, Prescott has been synonymous with the Cowboys' identity, leading the team through highs and lows, playoff pushes, and moments that defined a generation of fans. But tensions have reportedly been simmering behind the scenes. Contract talks, injury concerns, and the ever-present pressure to deliver a Super Bowl have all contributed to speculation that Dak might be ready for a fresh start. Enter the Eagles, a team hungry for stability at quarterback and poised to make a serious push in the NFC. A 3-year commitment, if true, would signal Philadelphia's belief that Prescott is the missing piece to take them back to glory. The timing of this rumor is what's keeping the sports world buzzing. Insider chatter hints at behind-closed-doors meetings, medical evaluations, and even preliminary discussions on team fit. Fans on social media are split. Some are mourning the possible end of an era in Dallas, while others are already dreaming of Dak leading the Eagles on primetime Monday Night Football. Imagine Lincoln Financial Field echoing with cheers as Prescott orchestrates drives that could redefine the team's legacy. Of course, nothing is official yet, and in the NFL, rumors have a way of evolving faster than a 2-minute drill. Still, if even half of this speculation holds water, we could be witnessing a seismic shift in the NFC East hierarchy. Cowboys fans may feel the sting of losing a franchise quarterback, but Eagles supporters are holding their breath, imagining what Dak could do with a new set of weapons and a city desperate for a championship. Stay tuned. If these whispers prove true, this could be the off-season story that dominates headlines, fantasy leagues, and water cooler conversations for months to come. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.